Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, Ollie, aka TNSAttitude, and I am back again here on YouTube.com for all things professional wrestling. Now, today, guys, it is the much-awaited Q&A video. I said I was going to do a Q&A on the shorts, and here we are. You know, I've not done a Q&A on YouTube in a very long time. It's got to be over 10, 11 years, probably going back to almost 2012, 2011 when I was doing this kind of thing, when I was a very young YouTuber, trying to get views, trying to get subscribers, and trying to make myself noticed on this channel on the YWC. But as I say, in the last couple of years, you know, things changed a little bit. I'm still around, but now I enjoy doing YouTube again, and I'm making videos, and I'm trying to produce week-to-week content for you guys, and I love doing it, you know, and that's the main thing. And I think that's the most important thing, is that I enjoy doing this content, and I think you guys know that because you guys seem to tune in every week and it's appreciated, and that's why I am doing a Q&A for you guys today. So let's get the tablet loaded, well, let's get the shorts opened up, and I'll be able to start reading down what we've got, and I'll be able to give you guys my opinion. Now, a few of you did, the ones who did do the Q&A for me and send me a question, I do appreciate it, guys. If you have sent me a question after the recording of this video, I'm sorry, but I will try and reply in the shorts, you know, if you guys have sent me something, because I do feel that, you know, you took the time out to send me something. Now, let's go down what we've got. Well, before we get started, we've got a bottle of KSI Prime. Oh yeah, you can't go without a bit of Prime on a Q&A. It's better wet my whistle, guys. But these limited edition Prime. And that is actually gorgeous. That's orange and mango limited edition. I bought these when they first came out. To anybody that's wondering how the hell you say about that, because I've got a few of these Primes around. But okay, let's read these. Let's go down with these questions, shall we? So who we got here? Go on here from Jordan Hasnip, 6757, and the question is John Cena invisible? Well, you know something, Jordan, I think he is, you know, and I think we've all probably met John Cena in some way or form. You can't see him. I would definitely say that John Cena is an invisible character, you know. I think John Cena's doing this Q&A with me right now. There he is. There's John Cena. There he is. But if that answers your question, Jordan, thank you very much for the kind question. Now then, let's carry this on. I got another question here. Who's the biggest star in WWE and why is it LA Knight? Yeah, and that's from number one Aloha fan. Now, if I remember rightly, this is from my buddy Ross, who you guys probably remember from my vlog. Good old Ross from Scotland. Good guy. I think LA Knight is definitely going to be a big star in WWE. And in terms of the biggest star currently in WWE, it's got to be Roman, isn't it? Roman Reigns is the now. But if you're going to look into the future, I think LA Knight is definitely going to be the guy that we should be looking at, you know, and also Cody, you know. I think the most ideal sort of thing for WWE would be to have an LA Knight as a champ, have Cody as the other champ. They're definitely going to mix it up. They're going to get Damian Priest in there in some way. You know, you can definitely see we're building a future. They're building a future with talent, and they want to have several decent contender main events in the future. You know, once Roman goes to Hollywood, you know, that's it. We're going to need to see some fresh blood coming through. That's why all the Bloodline are getting this rub as well. So you're going to be seeing hopefully Solo and the Usos all getting main event pushes. Main event Jey Uso. But thank you for your question, Ross. Appreciate it. Hopefully see you soon. Okay, we've got a question here from Thomas Jones, 1489, and it reads, what is your favorite pay-per-view and match of all time? Great question, Thomas. I'm not going to lie. Very good question. And to answer your question, what is your favorite pay-per-view and match of all time? So if I was going to be honest, I think my favorite pay-per-view, wow, huge question, actually. When I realize now that is a huge question because I've seen so many events and been there live as well. So, wow. What is your favorite pay-per-view? Okay, Okay, I think I can answer this, and it's changed a lot over the years. But in most recently, what would I say is my favorite pay-per-view and match of all time? So I would break this down as my favorite pay-per-view is going to be WrestleMania 38. And the reason why, and hear me out, guys, the reason why, there's several reasons. One, this was Stone Cold Steve Austin's last match. And, you know, he had that brawl with Kevin Owens. I was there for it. It was amazing. To see Steve lace up the boots again was absolutely fantastic, you know. And I would genuinely say that, you know, 38 also had the return of Cody Rhodes, had a great match with Seth Rollins. He'd had that run in AEW. 38 for me is my favorite pay-per-view because for personal reasons as well, you know, this was the first event that I did coming out of COVID. You know, I'd had COVID-19 in the same year. It was a terrible thing that I had. And there was a lot of doubt on me actually getting out to Mania. I was really worried that I wasn't going to pass the test of getting in because of the lateral flow. So there was a lot on the line, and it was such a stacked event. You know, we got Roman's win. We got, of course, you know, there was other things like Triple H put his boots in the ring. Let's not forget that. You know, there was a lot of cool stuff that happened at 38. So no, I'd say that 38 is definitely my favorite pay-per-view because I was there for it, you know, and there was a lot of cool stuff that happened on that show. Now, to answer your other question, what is your favorite pay-per-view? So I give you 38. And match, okay, match of all time. That would have to be, for me, my favorite match of all time. I am going to say my favorite match of all time. I'm going to have to go with Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 14. Simple fact, this is, of course, the show that Austin would, for what it did for Steve Austin, you know, this was the show that made Austin into the megastar. You know, he was already there, and that was the night that Shawn would put him over, and he had to do the job to Steve. And of course, Tyson as well, getting in the mix. Just because of what that match did in terms of the entertainment. You know, was it the best wrestling match? Maybe not. But for what that match was in terms of significance, you know, it was one of the very first matches I remember watching when I was a very young kid. And it was one of my favorites because I always loved Steve Austin. So yeah, Austin and Shawn at 14 for me. Okay, good questions, guys. Let's keep them coming. I've got one here from 405. It is thoughts on WrestleMania at Wembley after the AEW All-In break the records. Thank you for the question, 405. And to answer that question, you know, I think that WWE are fully aware of AEW's dominance in the UK. You know, they know that AEW is doing some pretty incredible things right now with their buy rate, and currently the gate is, over 80,000 for the Wembley show. And, you know, WWE, while they're now starting to bring a lot more of these premium live events to the UK, they want to get some steam, and I think they want to get some eyes on them, you know. And what a way to do it was that, of course, Money in the Bank, when John Cena would come out. You know, this was the first pay-per-view in 20 years to be hosted in the UK. I mean, you know, they want to keep some momentum. Having WrestleMania in Wembley would be fantastic. It would do some amazing things for the UK economy. You know, it brings people from all over the world. I mean, what does it do to local economies when they host it in these states, when it's gone to Texas, when it's gone to Detroit, when it's gone to Chicago? You know, it does a lot to the local economy, and I think this would do great things for London. So yeah, no, Birmingham, London would be a great contender to host WrestleMania. They could do it for sure, but it would take a lot of planning, and it would definitely take a lot of work. You know, WWE would have to come over here a lot more in between the period of announcing it and actually doing it, to actually just get the interest, get the media presenting it. You know, would the BBC get involved? Would ITV maybe jump in on it? You know, TNT Sports now. You know, so there's definitely, I think, it could be done. It's doable. They've shown that. They've done Clash at the Castle. That's streamed live. They've done Money in the Bank. You know, that was the arena show. Great show. Go check out Summer of Awesomeness if you want to see my vlog and see my reaction to that show live. So yeah, maybe we'll see it. You never know. But thank you very much for your question, 4 or 5. Question now from my old buddy, the HBK Rebel. What's going on, Rob? Hope you're good. How long do you see the Judgment Day lasting? Is Damien going to have a successful cash-in? I think he is going to have a very successful cash-in. I think he's cashing in on Seth or Finn. If they completely swerve us and he goes after Roman, that would be absolutely hilarious, because I think that that's something WWE would probably want to do, to try and swerve us off than doing predictable. They like to sometimes mix it up a little bit, especially with when people wanted LA Knight at Money in the Bank and Priest won. So yeah, definitely. I see Damien definitely going after Seth, but of course I could also see him going after Roman. There really is no, it's definitely, the ceiling could just smash whatever he wants to do. And in terms of the Judgment Day lasting, yeah, I think the Judgment Day is going to go on a long time, but I think what we're actually going to see is we're going to see this group change around a lot. I think that we're going to see some younger members going into the group. They're going to use the Judgment Day almost like a launching pad for young talent to get a bit of a break on the main roster. And, you know, somebody like a Jordan Devlin is a very good example. JD McDonough, I think, would be a good example to maybe kick Finn out the group, and Finn may turn face, and, you know, Priest could become either the new leader, or, you know, obviously there's a great dynamic there with Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio. So, you know, but I think that the group can grow. They can use it as a group to bring in call-ups if they want to assign and make the group different. I mean, this is, of course, when Edge started the Judgment Day and he was gone. So they can continue the formula of the Judgment Day for however long they want to do it. You know, the group doesn't have to break down. They can just keep switching out members if they want to keep the group growing, and they could always have an original member to continue to carry the group, like a Damian Priest, for example. But good question, Rob. I see it being around for a while. Okay, let's carry on. 2 questions. I'm going to answer both of them because you are a diamond to ask me to, and I appreciate that. And that is from, sorry if I pronounce this wrong, Liam Brufton 583. So let's start with pros and cons of traveling to shows, trips like Mania. Really good question. I was looking forward to answering this one because, you know, I've not really ever really discussed this kind of thing. I know I do vlogs, and I've been known to travel quite a lot on my own. You know, I went to WrestleMania, I've done 38, 39, War Games, AEW, Revolution back in 2020. So, you know, I've done a few of these shows on my own. Pros and cons. Well, there's a lot more pros and there's a lot more pros than cons. I'm going to be really honest. Okay, first of all, one thing I love, I mean, I'm very independent with this kind of thing. With traveling abroad, international, I love to do it. I've been doing it since I was 20, in my 20s. And, you know, I'm in my 30s now, but I still like to do this type of thing while I can. In terms of the pros, you don't have to answer to anybody. You know, you're not in a group, so that you've got that flexibility. You know, you want to go do something, go do it. You know, when I've done the group thing before, it doesn't always work out. You know, I remember when I went to a WrestleMania back in the day, and, you know, there was people in the group that would try and take over and, you know, just completely ruin what should be a group dynamic. So, you know, having to answer to nobody is a pro in my eyes, you know, especially when everybody's on the same page. But of course, you know, egos ran in the way of other Mania trips that I've done before 38, and there was people that just decided to fuck it up. And I'm not going to name any names, but these people aren't really on YouTube anymore. They just linger around, and especially, you know, when we bury hatchets, which we have done, but then they decide to prove that they are not. They haven't really proven anything in the last couple of years, and they're still showing quite a narcissistic side. But I'm not going to go into that. It's probably not for me to do. But yeah, no. In terms of the pros, I would honestly just say, like I say, independence, not having to travel, you know, not having to worry about having to answer to anybody else. You know, you can do your own thing. You're a free spirit. It's awesome. And the cons, well, the one that I would honestly just say would be, you know, the hotels sometimes can be a little expensive, you know, and sometimes if you're on your own, you've got to pay that whole bill. If you go with someone else, great, you've got a builder split. It's fantastic. It makes it a little cheaper. But if you are on your own, it means you've got a fat bill. You've got to make sure you got to cough it up and make sure you're paying it up, because those hotel bills ain't getting any cheaper anytime soon, believe me, guys. But thank you for that. And then the second question is Liam from Broughton again. And it says, favorite UK show and US done. So, what is that? Favorite UK show and US done. Oh, you've been to. Okay. Well, my favorite UK show, I'm going to be honest, is Money in the Bank. From this past July, well, this July, which we are nearly, I can't believe how quick July has gone. Money in the Bank was great, and that was such a, I've done a lot of house shows in England, so definitely Money in the Bank for me was a good show, and definitely had such a lot of buzz around it. So that would be my favorite UK show. US show, I did say 38, but I want to try and mix this up a little bit. Of all time, I'd say 38. But in terms of the one favorite US show you've been to, I'd probably have to go with WrestleMania 39 Night 2 was incredible. We got the Hell in a Cell match. We got, of course, Roman and Cody. We didn't go out to Roman and Cody, but I don't go Cody's way, but this is why they're setting it all up. But yeah, I'd say 39 Night 2 was tremendous. Great show. One of my favorites of recent memory. Let's carry this on. Thomas Jones, 1489. He asks, are you looking forward to All In? I am there too. Would be great to meet. Well, you never know, Thomas. Maybe we will see each other. Maybe we will bump into each other. And I always say this to people. If you want to bump into me, cool. If you do see me around, I've always said this. Come up, say hello. I'm very, very approachable. I've had people who approached me when I was at Money in the Bank. I always say, what's going on? Nice to see you. And the same, obviously, when I was at WrestleMania, people who remember me and they know me what I do on here, fantastic. I appreciate that kind of thing, guys. So, yeah, Thomas, hopefully we see each other, man. You never know. I'll give you a fist bump. What's going on, Good questions, guys. Okay, so I've answered these. Now I'm just going to go over to the other short part on here because I did 2 parts and there was some more questions which did get coughed up, which I appreciate. Okay, fantastic. Here we go. So we've got 2 more questions to answer to wrap this up. I got one here from Simon Skinner, 1078. His question, what matches are you hoping to see at All In? Great question, Simon, and definitely what I'm going to start getting onto in the next couple of weeks, but I'm going to roll up a couple of matches now. I really want to see Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. I feel that, we are now at a point where we need to see the third in one of this encounter, and why not do it in Wembley? Will Ospreay, Kenny Omega could tear the house down. I also want to see Sting and Chris Jericho. I do feel that as a old school 90s fan, this type of match could have been done at a WrestleMania. It could have been done at a big, WCW show back in the day, or, whenever, but this is the opportunity to do it in a stadium show like London. So yeah, definitely Wembley for this, I think would be great. Sting and Chris Jericho. I would also really like to see, I want to see Chris Statlander versus Taya Valkyrie versus Jade Cargill. Maybe do a 3-way dance for the TBS Championship. I'd like to see that. That'd be pretty cool. Who is the AEW? And then you've got the likes of Tony Storm. I would like to see Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter. That would also be really cool for the UK fans. I have no doubt about it that Tony Khan is going to load up All In. He's going to make this show a stacked show. No denying it. The show is going to be absolutely stacked, and I really cannot wait. It's going to be great. That's about 4 matches I've said. I could go on, but I want to keep it around 4 at the moment. I think what I'm going to do for you, Simon, I'm going to do a proper video on this in a few more weeks where I'm actually going to really break down fantasy matches and really discuss what I would like to see myself. So look out for it, And of course, predictions video is always something as well, which I'm going to do. I will do an all-in one, and I'm going to do a SummerSlam one. So check out for those. Final question is from Lee. I can't even, hopefully I got this right. Lee Tarrier. I think I said that right. Lee Tarrier 2010. And his question: what will you look to do across the whole of the All In weekend? Will you be attending any other promotion events or podcast recordings? So my plans for All In currently, I'm going to be leaving my hometown Nottingham on the 27th, which will be the Sunday. That's actually the day of All In. And I will be going down to London. I will be staying in a nice little hotel for the night. I'm going to be meeting up with my good buddy Mark Newton 89. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to All In. We're both sitting together, so that's going to be fun. In terms of shows, maybe might try and fit something in on the Sunday, on the Monday, so the Bank Holiday Monday. If there's anything going on, I've not actually booked my coach tickets just yet, so we're gonna wait and see what's going on. I'm not doing any of the fan meet stuff because that's on the Saturday, and I was unable to get that off with work because it being Bank Holiday weekend, they still need me in the building on at least one of the days. So definitely going to be checking it out on Sunday. Got Wembley All In. Can't wait. Going to be good times. And I think that is the last question. So that is today's Q&A. Thank you so much for tuning in today, guys. Everybody that was able to send me a question, thank you very much, guys. I got to everybody who asked me a question. I will hopefully try and do another one of these down the road, so do look out for it. I'll announce it on a short. But thanks today, guys. That is today's video. Don't forget to comment, subscribe, and like. And I'll catch you down the road for another one. I'm out, guys.